Hi, welcome to the Back Porch. My name is Meg Farrell.
I'm Ricky Alexander.
And today we're here with Molly Ryan, who's a wonderful singer who's been singing jazz since she was 11, and who's a pilot and also runs a hot jazz camp here in New York. So, hi, Molly. Welcome.
Hi guys.
So I'm super glad you're here. And I think to start, we should talk about like the beginning of how you got into music. So you've been singing, since you were really little, it sounds like, but you started like more officially studying jazz at 11.
Yeah, I was 11 years old and I was interested in this music. And Sacramento had one of the biggest festivals in the country, if not the biggest. And Ralph Reynolds had a group called the Reynolds Brothers, and my mom would send me to the festival. My dad was a volunteer sound engineer, and my mom would dress me up in a hot pink flapper outfit, and I'd go and I'd dance around with all the other flappers who were not children, and Ralph Reynolds came off the stage and said, you know, you're cute dancing, can you sing? And my dad said, yeah, and so I said that I did want to sing, so Ralph said he'd send me some material, and he sent me 3 songs in the mail from Florida, because he worked at Walt Disney World. And so he sent them to California, and I took them up to Placerville, which is where Bob Ringwald lived. And he said, well, which of these do you want to learn? And I still remember which 3 they were. It was Sweet Georgia Brown, Truckin', and My Honey's Lovin' Arms.
That's 3 great.
Wow.
And I said, and I didn't know any of them, but I said, I want to learn My Honey's Lovin' Arms, because this one looks like, I like the title the best,
Sweet,
right?
yeah.
So we learned that one. And he listened and he said, okay, well, I can work with this. Then I'd come back to the festival the next year, and Ralph Reynolds would let me sit in with his band.
Yeah.
And that ended up being where I met Dan at that festival later.
Yeah.
I wanted to really quickly say, you know, like My Honey's Lovin' Arms is a hard song. It's got a lot of leaps in it. For a very first song, you know, we did this on our album recently, and
I know.
When
I heard it, I was like, my song.
I was just, you know, it's like you dive in a little bit more when you record it. I just noticed how in depth the song was. So like how did you go about learning such a complicated song and kind of continuing to nail these melodies?
It's actually the same way I still learn the songs. Because Ralph sent me the sheet music, I still do the same thing. I look for the sheet music, I read through the notes, because I read music. I read through the notes, I read the melody, learn the melody, and then I write down the lyrics so that I'm committing it by writing it myself and seeing it written, and then I speak it, and then I sing it, I listen to it a few times, and then I get it down to where I only need to remember the first word of the phrase. So it's like if it's an A-A-B-A, I only remember the first word of the A-A-B-A, and that's like my device, and that's it.
If they would ask me, I would say I've had a thrill or so, but that goes back to yesterday, a long time ago. I ran around with my own little crowd, the usual laughs, not often but loud, and in the world that I knew, I didn't know about you. Chasing after the rain on the merry-go-round, just taking my fun where it could be found, and yet what else could I do? I didn't know about you. Darling, now I know I had the loneliest yesterdays every day in your arms. I know for once in my life I'm living, had a good time every time I went out. Romance was a thing I kissed kidded about? How could I know about love? I didn't know about you.
People look at singing on stage and they think of, oh, it's so cool to be able to be on stage and to put these fancy dresses on, but there's a lot of hard work behind that, and there's a lot of difficulty and a lot of emotion and a lot of pressure and a lot of good and bad, and I don't know, I would just like to hear what your experiences are about being in that position and being in that role. What's your story?
It varies depending on whether you're a band leader or a sideman, because there can be frustrations with the ensemble or, tempos. Also, depending on your day, if you've done so much to prepare for a gig, if you're a band leader, right? You've done everything, and then you get all the gear and stuff to the gig, and the last thing you want to worry about is the ensemble, which is why you try and book who you want for the gigs. So you get to the gig, and you're just like, please let just everything go the way that I need it to go. And you just give them the music, and you're like, save me. And then they do. And then, I'm sorry, I keep going like this because it's like, where are the musicians? The instruments are here, but the band's not. Where's the band? Like, it makes me worry. They're late. But they show up, and then they start playing. And as soon as they start playing, you feel this instant relief because they're so in the pocket. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, they know what they're doing, so I'm going to be fine. I'm gonna be fine. Yeah. And no matter what I do, they have my back. Yeah. And if I need saving, they'll save me, but hopefully I don't need saving because I know what I'm doing, but sometimes...
Sometimes it's nice to have support, that reminds me, because we should also talk about the fact that you're a pilot, which is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
that helped so much with music, actually.
I was gonna say, like, there's clearly a through path to the way you work and the mind of, in organizing a band leader, there's a million different things you think about at one time. You've got that, I think that's a
They're
skill to have.
very
Just being
similar skill sets
Yeah.
with having to have a lot of things going on at once and be thinking of a lot of things at once. And I used to take myself so seriously and also used to worry so much when I was on stage. And now that I fly an airplane, I don't worry when I'm on stage because nothing on stage is life or death. And now that I know what true life or death feels like I've been in some scary situations in the airplane that I and it's not because of anything unsafe. It's just, it can feel scary when, you know, if you see something on the screen, but you don't see it in the air, and you're like, I know there's an airplane out there, but I don't see it. And you're just looking for this airplane, and you're like, it says it's at my altitude. Where is this airplane? That can be a scary moment, right? That's not going to happen on the stage. You're not like, is there another singer out there
Just
that's
gonna run me over?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not going to happen. There's no one coming at you with a microphone going to like hit you over the head. It's not going to happen.
Gee, but it's tough to be broke, kid. It's not a joke, kid. It's a curse. Lately it seems my luck has gotten from something rotten to something worse. Who knows, one day I'll begin to wander into, reach my prime. Now that I see what the end is, all I can spend is just my time. I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while, you're sure to find happiness. And I guess all those things you've always pined for. Gee, I like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets, Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. Till that lucky day, you know darned well, baby, I can't give you anything but love. Gee, I like to see you looking swell, baby.